I was really reading into this last night, fam, just really trying to grasp what's going on. Johnny, do you happen to have a map? I didn't put it in there for Azerbaijan and Armenia. While he's going to grab a map real quick, I just want to talk about what's going on. So I want to give an update because I knew little about this, but I always knew there was stuff going on in this particular region. I've always paid attention to it because of a lot of my Armenian friends here in Los Angeles. And unfortunately, Azerbaijan, which is right next to Armenia, and Armenia have broken into another conflict. And what happened was military activity has erupted in this disputed region called Nagorno-Karabakh. And it's inside proper Azerbaijan, but it's mostly Armenians that live there. If you don't know, Azerbaijan is very consistently has a lot of Shia Muslims, and Armenians are mostly Orthodox Christians. So this one particular region, it broke out fighting out of the blue. Nobody really saw it coming. We have Mark Sloboda on. He said this was planned for a while. And really, to tell you the truth, the fact that it's now 2 weeks into this situation, into this dispute, things can get really out of hand. So the Armenians control an area inside proper Azerbaijan called Nagorno-Karabakh. Now, both sides are supplied by the Russians. Azerbaijan is an old Russian country. Both sides are supplied by the Russians. Armenia really has a very strong connection, an alliance with Russia. As you know, there's a lot of Russian Armenians. So what's really going on in this region right now is a little bit crazy because it's a real big headache for Russia, because not only does Russia, they're trying to ask for a ceasefire, Turkey has publicly come out and supported Azerbaijan. Also, we find out that Azerbaijan has some Israeli weapons. I just put up a really quick tweet over there under number 2, Johnny, which talks about it. My boy Murad Gazdiav from RT, and he talks about, right here, and he shows, aren't these cluster munitions the same as the one Azerbaijan used to attack Karabakh, identified by Amnesty International as Israeli MO95? They're cluster bombs of sorts. Please correct me. How could Armenia have and attack the pipeline with the cluster bombs that only Azerbaijan has? So we find out that Azerbaijan has Israeli weapons right there. Publicly, Turkey's coming out there. They've also been accused now, Turkey, of sending jihadists to the front line. And this is where it gets kind of complicated. You started thinking about it. You think it was maybe it's just a minor situation. It just flared up. But no, this can get really serious. We've heard of people leaving here in LA, going back to Armenia to fight in this conflict. And if you think about it, jihadists in this area and what they do, and then the fighting and killed. Always when they have these conflicts, fam, civilians are the ones who suffer. Civilians are the one who dies. And when we asked Mark Sloboda what the end game is for Azerbaijan, he said it would be to ethnically cleanse that area. And if you think about it, what happened between Armenia and Turkey with the genocide, ethnically cleansed is a scary thought point right here. This thing can heat up hotter than ever before, especially since Turkey is a NATO ally. So if Turkey gets involved and they get directly attacked by Armenia, or if Russia is getting accused, this can start having this World War I domino effect of pulling people in. Okay, so now, Russia then attacks Turkey, United States goes after Turkey, goes after Russia, China gets involved or whatever, or Iran, what I'm saying? It can just be this domino effect of things happening.
You think it can get that bad that it could start a world war, though? Because it seems,
You never know. Because really, to tell you the truth, is that I've been trying to figure out who's pulling the strings here. Because I've heard some echoes that, maybe the United States is in the background, way in the background, kind of nudging Turkey, going, hey, man, go get Azerbaijan to cause these problems. If anything, it's a huge headache for Russia. Russia's trying to tell both sides, calm down, stop it. And it's really hard to hold Armenia back right now. If Azerbaijan is really, hitting up the attacks and killing civilians. It can get heated in this area. So we're looking at a lot of footage, seeing what's going on, trying to understand, what's Turkey's endgame. I pulled up this article that I got off of Moon on Alabama, right? So,
outlet.
And they reference it. It wasn't from them, but it talked about the logic behind the Lausanne, which was pretty much the treaty in 1923 that Turkey had signed, which pretty much disassembled the Ottoman Empire. Right then, you know what I'm saying? So this is a geopolitical perspective on the congruence between Turkey's new hard power and its strategic reorientation. And I'm just going to read the first part because it's an interesting article, and it says Turkey's new expeditionary capability resting on enhanced naval capacity and new forward bases. Now, if you remember, if you've been seeing what's going on, Turkey has been kind of going in and jostling with Greece now in their waters, in their area. They have a stronger navy right now. And it's a logical result of Turkey's post-Cold War strategic reorientation. So they're trying to reassert themselves in this area. Moving beyond the Cold War framework, Turkey's strategic goal is to become an interregional power that will set terms for a new pattern of connectivity between Europe, Africa, and Asia, reclaiming a foreign policy of old. So what they're really, really trying to do is reassert themselves in a geopolitical way where they're a big player in the region, where you have to go through them when it comes to trade, when Africa and Asia have to deal with them. Pretty much like we've talked about Erdogan, right? He's trying to reassert this old school Ottoman Empire mentality.
Right.
So I think that, you know, on the surface, a lot of people think that that's what this conflict is all about, fam. Turkey pushing, you know, the barriers when it comes to Russia, getting them involved, causing chaos in the region, and trying to assert themselves. You know, since they are a member of NATO since 1952, they got big bad United States in the West behind their back. So I don't know what it is exactly, but I don't know if Erdogan is just trying to make moves, trying to spin things out of control. But it is a serious situation, which it could have a domino effect that could lead to a World War I type of situation. I don't know if it will lead to World War III, but it could get out of hand over here. You know what I'm saying?
And this has been going on for a long time, though. This is like not anything new. They have been at odds with each other since the end of the Cold War, basically.
Yeah. Well, even before that, like in the 50s, that part of Nagorno-Karabakh wanted to get out of Azerbaijan. They wanted to succeed and be part of Armenia. And Russia said, no, you can't do that. That's land inside of proper Azerbaijan. So they didn't get that when it happened. You know, then all of a sudden, you know, when the Soviet Union fell, they've always had conflicts there. In fact, in 2016, they had another major conflict. Yeah. Thousands of civilians died too as well. I think it was in 1984. It was called the Penn Deal, I believe. And I believe it was like Russia, France, United States. They got in there and they said, and Great Britain, they said, all right, everybody, calm the F down. We need a ceasefire, and that's that. But these particular treaties and these signs of peace and ceasefires, they've come to a tipping point right now. When we did talk to Mark Slobodka, he feels like this was planned in weeks in advance. Like this didn't happen overnight. This is planned weeks in advance. And it's a very dangerous situation. I mean, here in LA, fam, we've heard some people, they're going back to Armenia to fight over there. They're actually going to Armenia to get to the front lines to fight. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
It is nuts. I've kind of reached out to a friend. I haven't heard back from him. I don't even know if he's here anymore, if he went over there. A friend of mine who went back and forth to Armenia, I don't know. Because this is some serious shit. Now you think about the fact, fam, they're bringing jihads from Syria, Erdogan, to the front line over there. And that is just all types of dangerous, because when the jihads, these are the most radical of radical, you know, they live to kill. And, you know, they're already saying that Azerbaijan has taken 2 areas that were controlled by Armenia, that they've kind of taken these 2 small pockets. But I don't know if they're going to get more pockets and then try to get a ceasefire. I don't know if this is about territory. I don't know if this is about provoking for geopolitical reasons. To be continued. And I'm just going to talk to the people we know. I'm going to reach back out to Slobodka, see what's going on. But day by day, we're paying attention. And I feel that this is just one more serious bombing or missile or gassing or a landmine or something big where a lot of innocent people get killed, and Armenia just goes back full blast at I can't even say it. Azerbaijan, and then therefore seriousness breaks out. So I mean, I'm hoping that we see a ceasefire today, tomorrow, or the next day. but it doesn't look that way.
Yeah.
And both sides are claiming that they're, blowing
they're
up
blaming each other.
exactly, and they're killing. They're showing video like, look at this, look at that. So they're using it to their advantage. Look at these crazy Armenians; they're killing us. I think there was something that you put up, right, where they were pushing soldiers to the front line. Was that you
on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of my friends are Armenian, so they've been sharing stuff. It's really interesting to see it too, because like it's people that they're not aware of foreign policy or anything, but this is like their country, so they're like constantly posting videos and stuff. So I really wanted to know what was going on, because it just seems like it could escalate. I don't agree. I don't think it's going to escalate into any sort of world war type of scenario. I mean, I don't see the money ties, like the benefit for the United States to really do that. I mean, I do see Turkey's involvement is definitely, it could lead in that direction, but I don't really see it getting to that point.
Yeah. Well, I'm scared right now that there's only so far you can push the Armenians, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about Turkey left them out to die in the desert. Genocide, millions died, right? So right now they're at their last,
their wits end.
That's it, their wits end. That's the best way to explain it right now. And they can get medieval on that ass right now if they get provoked enough, and you can see shit's going on. They're not going to stand by. And when you start talking about ethnic cleansing, you know what I'm saying? Because what is the end game for Azerbaijan? They want them out of that region. They want them out of their land. You're going to kick all those Orthodox Christians out of there. Right. And once again, here comes the religion,
Right.
Shia Muslims pushing out Orthodox Christians. That gives the United States, But once again, I think that we're more standing by whatever pulls Russia in, the geopolitical part. If we can cause a headache for Russia, right? If we can bleed them in any way, shape, or form, that Cold War mentality is still there. It never left. We'll let it go on for a little bit. If it's lives and death, we don't care.
Yeah.
It's a headache for Russia. It's a plus for us. And that's what they're going to say.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anything to add to that, Johnny? By the way, Glory Jones, thank you for the Super Chat contribution. Just want you guys to know I wrote in Johnny's dolphin noise for sheriff on my ballots. That's probably getting fed to the alligators.
She did. She wrote in Johnny's dolphin. It was hilarious.
Read the Communist Manifesto and Lenin's major works. Thank you, Prol Center, for that Super Chat contribution. Darren Alevi, how you doing? Erdogan is behind this. Erdogan loves chaos in the East, and he wishes to recreate the Ottoman Empire. Now, Darren, that's what I thought. We've been talking about this. A lot of the Erdogan moves have been just that. It's the reassertion of the Ottoman Empire. That's why I put up that article right there. They have their navy that's kind of been messing around with Greece. They've been having arguments as far as refugees in Greece and Turkey on the border over there. So what is going to happen? Erdogan, he's one of the leaders I cannot stand. That him and his goons beat up a bunch of Americans in Washington, D.C. years ago, and they never paid the price.
His goons and mooks.
They beat the crap out of a bunch of protesters on America's soil. If you ever go back and see that, it just pisses you off. These guys, these Turkish bodyguards were running up and punching people and hitting people, and it was just like, holy shit, how did they get away with this? You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. But he has definitely caused problems. He's the same thing in Syria. Once again, here goes Erdogan messing around. You talk about Idlib, that province, what he did, supporting and paying jihadists to work for him. So Erdogan, Pompeo, and Bibi, somebody wrote, Darren Alevi, to create a war theater where neo-crusades can happen.
It's the same crap,
crusade,
different
right?
century. I mean, really. It really is.
So we'll keep an eye on the Azerbaijan
I'm getting
and
really
Armenia
nihilistic,
situation.
guys. I'm like, humans suck. They really do. I mean, Asteroid 2020.
Asteroid 2020.